everybody to make sure that you sign in for this hour. You can go ahead and take care of that with the link if you need to, or I'll post it again at the end for you to log in. You are welcome to, man, I'm telling you, my brain is going to have to readjust here. You are welcome. Oh my goodness. My husband just left with my 4-month-old son, and I'm like, trying to get my head around it. Okay, train of thought, not working for me. Anybody else feeling the mom brain right now? I'm sure some of you are taking care of kids while you're doing this too. Oh, okay, so questions, that's what I was gonna say. All of you are good to go in terms of like having your mics off, and you can obviously have your video off. That does not matter to me. But feel free to throw questions into the chat as we work here. But also feel free to turn your mic on and interrupt me. Sometimes I'm just going and I'm not going back there to, to check on things or to read them until we kind of get a break, or until I get it to a good stopping point. So don't feel like, you can't interrupt me, because that's fine. Oops, that's email. All right. So I'll get us started here. Some of you may have heard of Wakelet before. This is kind of a new program for me here recently, and just have played around with it. I actually haven't used it in the classroom yet, but it does have a lot of really great implications for use in the classroom. And it is Wakelet, L-E-T. And it is the website to access it would just be wakelet.com. I am Kelsey Birdwhistell. I teach English and Language Arts over at West Hardin Middle School. That is my email address, so you're welcome to get a hold of me there if you need to. And then, like I said, the presentation link is here, but I've also thrown it in the chat as well as in the link on the spreadsheet. I'm actually going to pop out of this. So the question becomes, for any of these tools that we're looking at today, why Wakelet, right? So why is this tool beneficial? Wakelet is used to, I almost think about it as like topics in Google Classroom meets like Pinterest. And so you can create collections of resources online to share with your students, and then you'll have multiple resources in one location. So for example, instead of me going on my Google Classroom and posting 5 different links of different things that I want my kids to look at, I can get all those things together and throw them into one Wakelet collection, and then send my kids to that one link so that they can have everything in one place. Likewise, this can be used by students. We'll kind of talk about some other implications possibly later, but I also like the idea that, like, say a student is working on a research paper and you're asking them to collect different resources. They can actually create their own collection and then throw their own websites onto the Wakelet collection, and then they have all of their information in one place where they can go back to, instead of like trying to bookmark or create links in a doc or like anything like that. Opportunities for collaboration. You can share these teacher to teacher, and you can have multiple teachers all pulling into one collection together. Likewise, students can collaborate this way as well. And obviously teacher to student as well. You also have some differentiation capabilities with this program, and I'm going to show you how you can use the immersive reader on here as well. So let's keep rolling. Again, capabilities here, you can add a variety of files to your collection, whether that be a website, video, images, PDF. You can even pull from your drive. So, if you want to have somebody complete an assignment based on a video, you can smash them together right there in one link, and then it's all the resources and links for them to click on are there in one place. You can access collections created by others as well. We'll take a look at that. So a lot of great people out there already putting a lot of creative and special things together, whether that's from a professional development standpoint and knowing, all the different things that you have available to use, or it could be, something that they've created for their class as well. You can save bookmarks and collections, which we'll talk about, and then obviously abilities to collaborate as well. We are going to go ahead and take a look at an example collection, and then I'll actually show you guys how to make one for yourself. if you have the slides, you can actually open this on your own screen if you'd like to as well. No big deal. But this is a collection that I created for a vocabulary unit. It's not complete, but this is something that I just started to put together that I'd like to use for this year. And in our 8th grade ELA curriculum, we do a lot of Greek and Latin root work, and that's something that I want to continue this year. And so you can make a collection as beautiful as you want. This is a stock image. This was not an image that I had. So they have lots of stock images that you can look at and create from, which we'll go over in a minute too. But if I scroll down here, you can see that I have posted some fun YouTube videos that kind of show the origins of English and why speaking English is so weird, some of the different influences and different things like that. And then I've also included down here this website where students can look up different roots and see, how many different words come from that one root or that base or whatever it might be. Again, this is very rudimentary, very basic, very beginning for me. I'm just kind of starting to organize some of this together. But to show you quickly, before I forget, let me show you this part. When I talk about immersive reader, what that means is it will read the website aloud to a student. So if you have a student who has an IEP who needs a reader, this website will do it for them. Notice that it is beta. I have already been playing around with it and noticed some glitches in some cases. So I would always check out, if this actually works for the particular website that you want it to work for. I've already checked this one out. So I'm going to show you guys this. So I'm going to click on beta right here. And I'm going to check over on you guys in the chat real quick. Oh, thank you for posting the sign-in link. Yep, my bad. And let me post that bit.ly one more time for those of you who need it. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for pitching in there. Okay. So back to our collection. I just did this. Boo. Okay, so I clicked on, just to show you one more time, and actually I'm going to go ahead and do it here. It would be like you hover over one of your links on your collection, and then it'll say beta immersive reader. Okay, so when I click up here for immersive reader, it will actually read the information from this web page aloud to me when I press this play button down here. So check this out.
In 449, the Celtic king Vortigern sent a request for help to a Germanic tribe called the Jutes from Jutland, which would now be part of modern-day Denmark. The Jutes were employed as mercenaries to serve in the south and east of Britain. They successfully repelled the Scots and the Picts.
Okay, obviously this goes into a lot more of the history than I'm really necessarily going to be asking my kids for, but I did want to give you just an idea of like, hey, how you can do that. Now, some other things too, you can change the text, you can get grammar options, reading preferences, so they can actually change, I think they can change voices and different things like that over there. Yeah, align focus if you want. You can translate it into a different language. So cool. I'm gonna jump in there. Okay, thought I heard somebody. Just kidding. Okay, so you get the idea. That is the immersive reader option. And again, if you want to go there, that would be this little button right here for beta. Likewise, if I am in a collection like this and I'm like, ooh, I really like that resource, I don't want this whole collection, you can just click on that little bookmark tab and you can save that bookmark and be able to use it yourself in a different way. I will show you where all that stuff comes from as well. Keep in mind, I am very new to this program. This is not something that I've implemented in my classroom yet, and it is something that I'm getting really used to. So if I can't answer a question for you, definitely shoot me an email and we can try to work on it together, or we'll search for it a little bit too here. So having said that, let's play. So to create one, I'm going to let you guys create your own as well. I'm going to go ahead and create a new collection in real time just so that you can see how it works. If you already feel comfortable and you want to start playing around with this, or you already have an idea that you want to go with, knock yourselves out. That's totally fine. But the way that you would do this is you would go to wakelet.com. You're going to create an account. Easiest to sign in with Google. Obviously, it is free. You're going to create a new collection. Add a site, a video, and a file from your drive. That could be a good way to practice, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Decide how you want to display your links. I'll show you what that means. So you can make it in a linear fashion, or you can make it look more like a choice board, like something like Pinterest would look. Make sure you check your sharing settings, like everything in Google. Well, this is actually a Microsoft product, but that same kind of concept applies, like, who do you want to be able to see this? So it's kind of like on YouTube, where is it private? Is it, someone with a link can see it, or is it wide open to the whole public? You can post it to Google Classroom, and you can create, share created collections to explore resources, or search created collections. So I'll show you how to do all this stuff. If you feel comfortable going ahead and following some of those instructions, go for it. I am going to follow my own instructions and go back here to create a new collection. So once you get to the home page, super simple, boom, create a new collection. I'm just going to click on that plus sign. You can see a very blank canvas here. I've been a little Hamilton obsessed this year. So, here recently, especially, as you'll see, anybody who wants to come to my Pear Deck presentation, we got some Hamilton fun going on. Sorry, I talked gibberish through that. So I gave it a title. I could give it a description here if I want to. So like all things Alexander Hamilton, right? Okay. And then up here, I could say choose from library. I might look for, he was the father of the treasury. So, hey, let's do some dollar bills. Or if I could go on there and find a $10 bill, right? It's going to upload that image for me. Beautiful. Okay. And you can see here, you may not want it to be that big. And so it gives you some options. It could be a full cover image, or you can do a half cover image like this. Okay. And then you get to adding. All right. So down here, clicking the plus sign, you'll see then it'll give you all these different options. Okay. So you can straight paste a website link. You can add your own text, YouTube, tweets, bookmarks, an image, upload a PDF, grab something from your Google Drive, grab something from your OneDrive. That's a Microsoft thing. And then even add some Flipgrid videos in here. Whoa, what? Or a Flipgrid question that you create or whatever, right? So it's going to put all kinds of things smack in the middle. So let's have a little fun. I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to put Lin Manuel Miranda plus White House. See if we can find where Alexander Hamilton first came from. So this is cool. If you haven't watched this, if you're a Hamilton fan, I'm sure that you have. This is when Lin-Manuel actually first kind of like brings up the idea of Hamilton the musical, and he performs at the White House at their poetry jam. Fun to watch. Okay. I could also, come in here and let's look at an image. So I could upload an image. I can choose one from the library. Likewise, a lot of times I'm probably going to be pulling things either from YouTube or from a website. And again, you can do this any way you want. For Google Drive, if I had saved something or made something already, I can do any kind of file from my Google Drive. So that means I could throw a form in here. I could throw a sheets. I could throw in a slide deck. I could throw in a doc or whatever I wanted my kids to make. So literally anything that you wanted to put in, you can throw in to your collection and have it all in one spot. Let's see what else I was going to show you guys. Do notice that over here you have, you can do hang on. There's a way to do like a background image on this too. Yeah. So if you want to get real fancy, you can go over here to the little toggle wheel, upper left-hand corner, the gear here. And let's say that I'm like, this background is way too boring. I would like to add an image. I'm like, oh, this is very nice and serene for my background image. So I'm going to throw that on there. And then boom. Okay. So just to add a little visual interest or whatever you're going for there. Okay. Over here is where you have settings. So it's not hard to go and find where the settings are, figure out, okay, how do I make sure that all my kids can see this? All you have to do is click over here on this little drop down, and you can see right now, only I can see this collection. Obviously you can, since I'm sharing my screen, but you couldn't just get to it. If I put it as unlisted, that means that I could then share the link, and then my students would be able to see it. Or I can make it public where everybody can see it, and it's on the, the sharing platform and all this kind of stuff. I am going to click done over here. Notice that it does save my changes as I do this, but then I need to click done to get out to save some of my settings. Beautiful. Okay. And now, oh, look, here's my Hamilton. Lovely. All right. Now, if I go back to Wakelet, my main kind of dashboard screen, you can see that now, oh, that's been added to my little pin board here. So I can dig up all my different, collections that I've made so far. Over here on the left-hand side, you can see how it organizes itself. So you've got your collections right here. So this would be what I have. It also goes ahead and creates a bookmark for anything that you put onto your collection. It will automatically make a bookmark for you from it. You can obviously choose to put bookmarks on here too that you want to, add to a collection later. And then, let's see if I can show you this part. If you go up here for, let's see. Let me show you one thing on here. I'll go to collections for just a second. Let's say with my Greek and Latin root collection, I didn't want it to just be like a linear, like, hey, here's this and this and this and this. What if I just wanted it to be more of like a grouping where I wanted my kids to just kind of peruse different things? Well, I can go to, let me show you what I did there. Kind of jumping ahead. So again, if I'm at my original page with Wakelet, I'm going to click on one of my collections. I'm going to edit my collection. And then I'm going to change my layout. So when I change my layout, I might choose to just have it a little bit more compact and basic. That almost looks a little bit more like classroomy for those of you that use Google Classroom, which I'm sure is a ton of you. You can also do a grid where they're just in different boxes. Okay, all the way down. And you can also get super contemporary and create a mood board. Whoa, look out, world. Okay, all mine are the same size basically. But you kind of get the idea, like it just kind of starts to put things in a different order, presents it in a different way. And again, that can be something that you choose, or like a student might choose to present things in a different way, just depends. One thing that always hung me up about Classroom, and I don't know if they've changed it or not, but I like this easy reorder mode because sometimes I would get ahead of myself and post something above or below and instructions got kind of jumbled. This makes it really easy to move things around. You can just drag and drop or send things to the bottom or send things to the top. And that kind of helps when you're organizing for what you want your kids to see or what you want, for somebody else who's collaborating with you to see. Once I can just turn that off, and then it'll show it to me in the format that I want it to show me. Okay. All right. So let's go back. And let me show you one more thing before I let you really take off with this and create your own thing. And again, I should probably talk to you while I do this instead of just doing it. All right. So here we are at the home screen where all my collections are. And let's say I'm feeling really uninspired today. I have no idea where to get started, or like, man, I wish I had an idea for this thing. There's obviously a search bar that you can use, but you can also peruse the showcase. And so, whatever your interests are, you can just kind of flip through here. Here's an art, culture, and science. This looks kind of cool, like that cover image. And then I can just click on that. This person has made their collection public. And so we can actually scroll through and see what they've gotten. Oh, yeah. So some videos, different articles that this person has posted. Very neat. All right. And then I'm like, man, this is so cool. I really want to save this collection. I can go ahead and click this save button right here, and it's going to save that collection for me. And I'll show you how to get to that in just a second. Likewise, if you're like, man, this person seems awesome, I bet they have some really other interesting things. You can actually follow people on here as well. And so you'll kind of like have their things kind of pop up to you first. Let's see. Obviously, you can report something if you feel like it's got too much. Share if you're like, man, this is great. I'm going to throw this thing directly into my Google Classroom. You can click share, click classroom, pick your class, throw it in there, and go. All right. Okay. Let me see if I can show you where you get back to those things that you have saved. Okay, so I've got one. Yeah, I think it's up here. Nope, hang on. Oh, dang. Sorry, hang on. It's in the bookmarks. Yeah, it'll put it up for you under your bookmarks. So in addition to actually saving each of the pages or like resources that you link, it'll actually throw your collections in here too. So, and again, if this is like too clunky of a format, you can also see that up here that you can change it again too, to where it's a little bit more streamlined if you like. Your choice. You can also choose whether or not you actually keep these things here or how you group them. Woohoo! Pretty exciting. All right, I'm going to come back to the window over here. Yeah, to answer some questions, Jan, first of all, you're welcome. I was like, how do I present this? I have not assigned some to Whitney. I have not assigned this to a student yet. Let's see if I can. Oops, that's not what I meant. I was trying to talk to you guys without showing my screen again. Hang on. Oh well. Now, is it going to show my video? Can y'all see my face now? It's okay if you can. Oh yeah, Brandy, cool. Yeah, lots of inspiration boards. Oh yeah, like a timeline, multimedia. Yeah, cool. So I haven't, but like, again, I think the possibilities are endless. I think you just have to start thinking like, okay, what's my content? And then how can I use this tool to help me to achieve my content? So like for me, I'm thinking about sharing it out for obviously giving my students resources, but then other ways, like, again, my example was like writing project and having kids like get all their stuff in one place. But it could be that like, if I threw out a question, like if we read that, like we read The Outsiders every year. So like, what's the big deal about muscle cars in the 1960s? And I had students like research like muscle cars in the 1960s. You could use all kinds of different things. Or, like what does a Soch really dress like? Or what does a greaser really dress like? And create some visual images of like, hey, what would this actually look like? So some different implications, but it just kind of takes some time to consider what you're teaching and then how you want to teach it. Let me throw this for you again. So is this my last one? Yeah. Okay. So in the slide deck here, this is where I'm going back to, again, encouraging you just to play around with this and start to think about how you might use it in your own room. And I'll be here to help field questions as well. But go ahead and go to Wakelet, create your account, and then go ahead and start, creating a new collection. You can, again, kind of drive it however you want to drive it. Like, I know Miss Hedges is on here, and if you're a band teacher, especially for those little sixth graders, and they don't really know what different instruments sound like, could be really cool to be like, okay, here is, what a clarinet really sounds like, blah, 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 So just some fun in different ways, or like different songs that you're teaching, or, whatever. Could be a good way to do like an intro activity for getting to know your students. I know for me, I'm going to be teaching in the online academy to start with, or well, from here on out, I guess I got chosen for that. And so you can, for me with getting to know you, maybe I have my students create their own, board that shows me what they're into, right? So like I can get to know a little bit of their interests and their personalities and things like that. So, yeah. then you could have them, like, if you assign something like that, I'm sure you could do it in conjunction with a doc to where they had to like share the link with you through a document or form. If you wanted to do it that way, might make access to their Wakelet a little bit easier. So do think about it in terms of content. Think about it in ways that it might work in conjunction with other tools that you're already familiar with that might help streamline your, grading and things like that as well. I'm going to go and dig up the form code for you guys again to make sure that everybody has signed in for this hour. But this is kind of play time at this point. So feel free to mess around, ask me questions, whatever. Okay, that the sign up link should be good there. I'm going to go ahead and fill that out for myself really quickly as well. Yes, Amanda, I was just reading over your question there. Exactly. So it's not, instead of going into Classroom and having like this whole chunk of links. Now it is still a chunk of links that you're going to have, but I do feel like it's very much more streamlined where they know, like, it's almost like gives them blinders so that they're not thinking about like everything else that you've posted on Google Classroom. It's going to be like, this is what I need to be concerned with. Boom, right there.